If you visited the Surf City Garage Collection recently, you had a chance to see this Sunliner here, one of the more recent additions, and it is a beautiful car from 1955, shares a platform with the Crown Victoria and Fairlane. Just a gorgeous convertible, and a really bright white and yellow color scheme. These cars were kind of known for their extreme colors back in the day. Well, because of that, this is a perfect candidate to be using our Acrylic-Shield Paint Sealant. It's been corrected, it's been clay cleaned, corrected, it's polished, and it's going to be getting the rounds. It's the new addition here, so that's the one that everybody wants to take out for cruises and drives. Well, because of that, we want to put down durable protection. Now, when it comes to protection for your paint, you have a choice between waxes and sealants typically. Now, this is a debate that rages on among guys a lot, which is better, wax or sealant. It really depends on the situation you're dealing with. Waxes are more typically known for their enhancing characteristics, the depth that they give paint, the gloss that they give paint. The one drawback to a wax is it's not going to be as detergent or heat resistant as a synthetic sealant. Sealants, on the other hand, characteristically become known for their longevity and durability, but not so much for their shine characteristics. When we set out to design Acrylic-Shield Paint Sealant, we wanted the best in durability, but we also wanted the best in gloss and shine, trying to bridge that gap between the two product types. I think we've accomplished it. This product features very, very, very clear acrylic resin polymer that adds a kind of a hard candy shell to your paint, if it were, that resists detergents, high heats, excellent in areas where cars are outside a lot, or if you live in an area with really, really hot sun, say Arizona or Nevada, anywhere like that. To apply, it's very easy. Today I'm going to be using just a Porter cable 7424XP with a 5.5 inch backing plate. Any dual action or random orbital polisher will work for this task. I'm also going to be using one of our Crimson Ultra Finishing pads. This is the finest foam pad we offer. You can use other foam pads if you like. We do prefer this one because it doesn't absorb as much of the product into the pad itself, keeps it on the face. If you do use another type of pad, make sure you're using something that is a waxing or very, very fine grade pad. The cord over my shoulder so I make sure it doesn't touch the paint. Now, we do recommend you use a machine for application for best results. Not that it has any change in the performance of the product, but it does allow you to apply a very even and thin coating, which makes removal a lot easier. Because of the really substantial blend of acrylic resin in this product, a thick application, if you do it by hand, you may have a difficult time getting a very thin application. That thicker buildup can be a little difficult to remove. So we do recommend a machine. You can do it by hand. Just be sure to apply very, very thin coats when you do. A quarter size or about 4 medium-sized blobs on a pad like this is generally enough. And you're going to use your machine at the lowest speed setting possible. Most machines go down from 1 to 6. 1 or 2 is fine, depending on the machine you're using. You're simply spreading. You're not really imparting change to the paint, so it doesn't need speed and time. You're just spreading it as evenly as you can over the finish. So I'm going to go ahead and start treating the car. So I've covered the big areas that I can. There's obviously always going to be some areas that you can't hit with a larger machine pad. Now, if you have a smaller machine or a backing plate that you can mount up, you could always go to a smaller or 3.5 inch pad like this. For the sake of speed, I'm going to do some hand application. Even though it is recommended you apply by machine, if you work in small enough areas, the removal process should be easy enough. I put about a small blob on there and just fold the pad in on itself, get it spread over the surface. So around the hood ornament there, up here along here, this is going to be a very difficult area to hit with a machine, so I'm going to hit that and around the headlight bezels. Now you get those guys who'll tell you have to wax in straight lines, you're going to cause swirl marks or damage. Actually, that's not true. If the paint is clean, you don't have to worry about which direction you're moving in. As long as the paint is clean when you start, there's really nothing abrasive about a sealant or a wax that you're putting down. So you can work in circles. It makes it a little bit easier. If you prefer to work in straight lines, that's fine too. Nothing wrong with it. Get up here around the cowling and around that wiper blade. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just finish out the rest of the car. It does take about 10 to 15 minutes for this product to set up and harden and haze. You want to give it substantial cure time so all those acrylics and resins can settle, level out, and bond with the paint. So by the time I get around the car, something the size of the Sunliner here, where I get back to where I started, it's going to be an easy 10 minutes. It'll be ready to buff off at that point. All right, so I've got every surface on the car treated, and it's great because this can be used on any glossy exterior surface. So if we want to do the trim on the car, this stuff, the wheels even, if you want to protect them from brake dust and kind of all the road hazards that are out there, you can apply it to anything that is shiny on the exterior of your car. Works great for protection on all those. So it's been a solid 10 minutes or so since we've applied to the hood, and it's nice and hazed over now. Sealants like this apply just like your normal liquid wax do in terms of how do you apply them. Put them down, give them enough cure time, and then buff off the haze after they've hazed up. Acrylic-Shield does take a little bit of elbow grease to get off. Again, this is a really, really substantial blend of polymers. It's not necessarily a difficult product to remove, but it does, you'll be able to feel it under the towel for sure. One trick that I like that can make removing sealant or really anything, polish residue or anything from a surface like this, is to use your polisher to do some of the work for you. And how you do that is you spread your towel out like that, take your machine with the pad still on, any pad is fine, make sure the machine is still set on a low setting, grab that front corner in front of you there and hold it on top of the machine and let it do some of the work of knocking this off for you. And obviously, just like with the application, you can't quite get into every single nook and cranny of the car, so there's still going to be some areas you have to knock off by hand even when you do that, but that definitely will save you some time and save your shoulder some extra work. And it leaves the paint feeling super slick. This product will bead water like crazy. The first time if you let your car get wet or exposed to rain, you'll see it. It definitely makes that water to kind of jump off the surface. Again, it'll provide very long-lasting protection. It's very heat and detergent resistant, so it'll last through numerous car washes, lots of days out in the sun or just driving around. Ideal for your daily driver. But thanks to the optical clarifiers that we've included with the acrylic resin, it also shines fantastically. So for a car like this, we're going to get a really bright, reflective characteristic out of the product. I'm going to finish knocking off the sealant, and then the Sunliner here is ready to go out for a drive.